I'm right now playing a chess tournament in Stockholm, Sweden called Rilton U2200. And it's a chess tournament with lots of players that are all under 2200. Now this year, I came in with a goal. I wanted to try to win the tournament. And this is a very difficult goal, but last year I got 5th and I was really close to winning. So I thought if I just play a little bit of better chess than last year, I can win it. Like I can actually do it. And the tournament started off a little bit roughly because I lost my second game. But then all of a sudden I won the rest of the games and I had 4 out of 5 points coming into this round today. Now, I haven't been doing recaps before, but I thought new year, new me, new recaps, I don't know. So I wanted to show you my game from today. This was game number 6, and this was a crucial game because if I won today, I would be taking one of the leading spots in the tournament. So it was a very important game. I'm sitting right now next to my mom. Mom, you've been commentating the whole game. You've been giving it your everything. You know what happened, but we're not going to spoil anything. Instead, I just want you to give me your Grandmaster knowledge to explain what I did wrong, what I did right, and then maybe you also at home can learn something from this. I was playing against a guy called Chael Cheng. I'm pronouncing this so wrong. But he was only 12 years old, I think. Like, he was a very young kid. And he was rated 1731. But he had beaten, literally, I mean, I need to check this because it was so impressive. He had beaten 4 1900s in a row. So he was gaining 120 points of rating. So I knew that this, kid was not a 1700 kid. I was like, okay, this is an underrated kid. So hard to play underrated kids, but hopefully my experience will prevail. That's what I was trying to think. But yeah, it's so scary to play underrated kids. So anyways, he started out by playing e4, and I played c5, the Sicilian. And he went knight f3, I went knight c6. And Mom, I played what I've been playing lately.
Yes.
This is what I always play.
Yeah, but it's, yeah, I see that.
Knight b5, and now this is the Sveshnikov, right?
Mm-hmm. Or Chelyabin. Sveshnikov's Chelyabin. Yeah.
It was so cool because actually the son of Sveshnikov was here yesterday.
Yes, he is. I think he's an IM 2300, and he plays a lot of. Yeah, he plays chess also, and it's just very nice. So he came here for some days. He doesn't play in Rilton Cup, but he was here.
Yeah, and he gave a presentation and he said his name, and he was like, "I think you guys know my father," and I was like, "Oh, your father is Sveshnikov, the person of this. This is my opening. This is what I always play." Like, I was literally starstruck. I thought that was so cool. But anyways. So this became, and I was expecting this today. We had looked a little bit at this before. My dear mother has sent some great prep lines and she's helping me prepare for this tournament, but the preparation shall be secret. But I had looked at this a bit before, but now I was actually expecting him to play c3. I didn't think he was going to play c4.
Yeah, c3 I would say is the main line, but c4 has also become popular. And actually what we'll see is something which is not played very much, but I think it has become more popular recently, what he played. So c4, you are you're putting pawn on white light square, which means that the bishop will not play so much, but you're also forcing black to push the pawn. So you have to push it further, and now you can get the knight. Yeah, you get the knight to the good route, and it has to come there, because the good route is to go e3, d5, or sometimes even d4, but normally e3 is the way to going.
Yeah, so here I castled, and okay, this pawn, it looks like this pawn is hanging, but it's not really such a big threat if takes, because my queen comes in. So he played here queen f3, which I wasn't really expecting him to play. I thought that he would maybe play h4. I mean, I played a match a few weeks ago, and then my opponent always played this. So I was like, okay, we're going to see the same stuff we've seen before. But instead he played queen f3, and now I wasn't really sure if I want to allow him to take here. Like, you just play bishop e6 is a very natural move. I wasn't sure about that. Or I also didn't know if I should play just something like this, allow this, or play bishop g5 or bishop e7. Now, the main idea typically is to go bishop here because you want to be able to trade off this bishop sometimes if the knight comes to e3. But Mom, the reason I didn't play this move was because I was really worried that after h4, bishop h6, g4, I thought I was then going to go bishop f6, bishop f4, and then I got really worried after bishop e2.
Yeah, if you play like this, go back with the bishop to f1, you are entering a line where while you have lost the tempo. This position exists, but exists with a tempo more for black, because you go directly bishop f4.
Yeah.
So here you should probably go f6.
Yeah, but I didn't know this, and so I was just a little bit confused. So that's why I didn't play bishop h6 or bishop g5.
Yeah. No, I think bishop g5, it could be that as the main line. I don't know, but I like bishop e7. But you really should move away the bishop. This is the main thing, because otherwise your opponent will go for the endgame. Maybe later play f4, open up the f line, and play against a double pawn on f6.
Yeah.
So with the pawn on g7, the endgame's no problem. With the pawn, double pawn on f6, yes, white has a target.
So he played g4 here, which honestly, okay, the engine is giving a question mark. I thought that he was going to play g4 because I thought he doesn't want to allow me to play f5. Like, to my brain, this was a great move. Like, if he went bishop e2, I was going to go f5. I don't know if it's... Oh, it's actually not a good move. I thought that this was completely fine.
Yeah, I can understand. I guess it's not so good, because what you do is either you open up and this bishop, well, but now you can take on e4, actually, if it's your move. Let's say if you do, yeah, you threaten to take on e4, but he can go bishop d3. And what it means, if you go f4, you are closing, you put all the pawns on dark squares, and this bishop is becoming not so active, yeah. But he played g4 to stop f5, and he played it quite quickly. And here I would have liked to go bishop h4, actually.
Yeah, bishop h4 to block this pawn from ever pushing, right?
Yeah, and maybe later you can even go g6, king h8, and f5, actually. But it's scary. It's scary. Yeah. But you even can do it. But it's a way of blocking, and a little bit of a way of saying, oh, you have gone one step too far with the pawn and so. But you played a very nice idea. I like this.
I went queen a5 here, which I thought was very creative. I wasn't sure if it was actually the best, but I just thought, okay, now after b3, he can't go long castles. He can't play rook d1 and play against this pawn. So I just thought, actually, this is pretty interesting. And my plan was to go queen c5.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely a fine idea. After queen a5, he has only one move. You're threatening to win.
Because I'm threatening to go b3 check and winning a piece. So he has to go b3. And here I played pretty... Well, no, here I spent some time because I had two options in my head. I wanted to either go bishop d8 or bishop e6. And it looks like it's not that big of a difference, but I basically thought that if I can go bishop e6, queen c5, and knight d4, I'm better. And so I was just trying to get that position. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just spent a lot of time thinking here, but the reason I didn't play it was actually because I was worried about takes h4, and then I was going to go queen c5, and I was looking at h5, and yeah, here I was looking at playing f6. Apparently I can go h6 as well. Maybe I don't even have to care about this, but I thought I had to. So I was looking at this position in my brain, and I wasn't entirely sure how this was.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary to go h6 because of g5. But maybe you can do that.
I was going to go f6 maybe.
Yeah, f6 absolutely looks more natural to be played. Yeah, it looks more natural.
But this was the reason I didn't enter this, and I thought, okay, I can just go bishop d8, I can keep the bishop, and now if h4 or h5, I always have h6, and he can never go g5 because my bishop takes it.
Yeah, that's very good. If you go h4, h5, you go h6, you keep your bishop on d8, and you defend everything. So he can never put the pawn on h5 when you still has the bishop on d8.
Exactly. So I just thought, okay, now there's great defense, and I couldn't really see exactly. My plan was very simple. It was to go queen c5, a5, and then, well, bishop e6, a4. Like, this was my idea, knight d4. So I was trying to take control of the dark squares. He played bishop e2, which was a really good move. And here I played a move really quickly that I think wasn't that good. I didn't realize that a3 was such a threat for him because for so long it wasn't. And yeah, here I should go bishop b6, I think, and just try to activate my bishop. But I just really quickly, like in a split second, went bishop e6. Like I literally spent 10 seconds on it. And then after castles, I realized that I'd made a mistake.
It's not, you can play the way you did also. It's also fine, but you need to navigate and play the right moves afterwards. And it's easier to go bishop b6 before bishop e6 because you put something on d4, you put pressure on white, and white will not have this a3 move, which could be annoying.
Yeah, because now the thing is that I realized the threat of white is to go a3. And my queen doesn't even have that many squares. Like my queen is almost getting trapped. So I need to really make sure my queen doesn't get trapped. And I was yeah, really worried about a3 pushes, maybe b4. Like, there were a lot of different ways that white could play, and this was just a really big threat. And I was just like, where do I go? Like, my bishop now is stopping the retreat for the queen. I can retreat and go a5. Like, I cannot really defend this. If I go something like queen c5, then once again a3. I was thinking, should I go bishop a5 to defend? Because I can't go a5 because then takes, my rook is hanging. So, but this looks so passive. I don't know. So yeah, so I was spending quite some time here thinking, and I ended up playing the move bishop b6 because I got really stressed about my time. But now I was definitely really worried about him playing a3 because I hadn't fully figured out what I was going to do then. Were you scared about this too?
I was scared about a3 because I know you have to play the best probably has to take on a3, but after rook takes, it looks like you're losing material, but you're absolutely fine. But it's not so easy to see that. If you go something like bishop d4, it could be, bishop d4, maybe now we will have a take b4. Yeah, no, this doesn't work. No, this is bad. You need to go knight d4.
In that case, I need to go knight d4, I think.
Knight d4, you can go.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I was looking at this, and I was even thinking what happens if queen d3, and I was looking at this crazy line. Knight takes c2, a takes b4. And okay, I didn't see knight takes b4. I only saw taking here, and I thought this is just losing because knight takes b6 and my knight is trapped.
Yeah, of course.
And I saw this during the game, and I was like, what do I... But okay, I missed that there's knight takes b4, actually.
Yeah. So you...
So, yeah, so here... Yeah, I don't really know what I should have done. So I have here to take if he does this. And then after rook takes a3, my only move is to go queen d2. I'm giving up the bishop, but apparently this is fine because I'm threatening knight d4 and I'm, winning pieces. But this is completely crazy. Like, I am not sure I would have seen this.
No, I know this is very, very tactical. You have to calculate to the end. You have to see that after bishop d1 or bishop d3, you have queen d2. There is a rook hanging. So it still works for you. Still very good, and you will get a knight to d4. But it's so difficult to find the right path all the way. Yeah.
So I was really worried that I was going to play a3, but then all of a sudden I saw that his hand was going to a different side of the board, and I was like, yes, please don't play a3. And then he took my bishop, and I just was so happy because now I felt like, okay, this pawn is weak, but my issues of my queen getting stuck and everything going on over here are gone. And if a3, I can now always play a5 and there's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And we can see you have this backward pawn on d6. But what you have your pawns on dark squares. And your bishop is active. If you look at his pawns, they are almost all of them on light squares. So he has a very bad passive bishop. And this pawn on g4 would like to go a step back to g3. Because there is a hole on f4 also, which might be something to play for later on. So you are absolutely fine here because you're having the dark squares and you have a very nice idea of getting activity, what we will see in the game.
So he went rook d1, and I was, trying to figure out what to do with this. At first I thought, okay, I'll go knight e7, but then I thought, no, then the knight comes to e3. I want to make sure that this knight is stuck here, so whenever the knight moves, I can go knight d4. So I went queen c5 to defend everything. And now my idea, I knew, was to go a5, a4. I thought this is actually my only idea. I wasn't really sure what to do otherwise.
But it's good. You're looking for activity, and I think this is what we have to do. We have to be active, because like this, we put pressure on the opponent.
Yeah, so rook d3, and then I played a5. Rook d1, and now at first I thought that I had to defend, but then I actually realized that he couldn't take here because then I have this move knight d4, and well, I can just show, like, let's say I would do something random. Let's say he goes rook takes. I have this move knight d4, now blocking the connection of the rooks, and if he takes, I will take the rook.
Yeah, exactly.
So so I didn't do that move. I went a4 instead, and I thought, okay, I have to play on my plan. And then he went queen e3, which I thought he was going to do. And so I took really quickly, but now finally he had less time than me. Were you happy when he had less time than me?
Yeah, I was very happy. All of a sudden, because he was thinking so long. He was thinking very long after, I think it was after your a4, yeah? Yeah, after a4, because then he didn't really know what to do. And he saw that taking on d6 was too dangerous. And then he fought very long and he went queen e3. I think he was spending like 20 minutes, something like that. So
he spent a long time, Were you stressed about my time?
I was a little bit stressed today about your time, but when you play queen c5 and a5, a4, I was very happy because you spent like 7 minutes, I believe, for queen c5 and a5, and I like very much. liked it very, very much. Then I was happy because I saw you were going for activity instead of defending. And even if it's about equal, but you have a clear plan. And I thought it was easier for you to play. And we can see he was spending so much time. It wasn't easy for him to find a way to continue.
And I was trying to play in an annoying way. Like, I've thought about this a lot. The best way to play chess is to just annoy your opponents that they don't know what to do. Because then sometimes they're going to want to do something and it's going to be bad. And that's what we're going to see now very soon. Because after takes, I went rook a2, threatening the knight. And I was sure that he was going to go rook d2, actually. But then he took on d6, which actually is the best move, but I thought this was a mistake during the game. Because I thought, okay, now I just have knight d4 again, and I'm going to be trapping the rook. So yeah, here, Mom, you were saying that I could also have taken the queen.
Because he has to take with the knight, and otherwise you win a piece. So
Yeah.
otherwise you don't win a piece, but you win the position.
I have rook c3,
Yeah.
and then after takes, I have bishop takes g4, I saw.
Yeah. Or if you want to go rook d8, you will win a piece also.
Oh.
But bishop d4 is very good. You can start with that if you want to, and then after rook d8, this is just fantastic for you.
Oh, here rook d8 doesn't win a piece, right? Because bishop e2.
Yeah, but you're taking rook c1. Aha, he has rook d6. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't win a piece. No, but because there's a mate on d8. So bishop take e4 is the strongest move.
But then when the rook is here, then I can do this. But yeah. But anyway, so I was looking at this, but he could take with the knight. And then I thought, okay, like this, I could tell I was better. But I just wasn't really sure of how much better or how to continue exactly. So I decided to go for knight d4. And now apparently, like, the only thing he can do to kind of equalize is to take back here with this rook, right?
Yeah, that is the best, because like this, and then he keeps the rook on d1. It's about equal the position. It's about equal here now. The position. So and he has 2 pawns, so you have to be a little bit careful. It's not so easy for you because he doesn't really have. He has the pawn on g4, but he's planning e5, bishop f3.
And he's going to be activating his pieces.
Yeah, and it's not so easy for you. The best maybe you can go is rook a8, change rook, and rook a1. And you want to go to the end game, because then in the end you will go for the b3 pawn. You will absolutely do that. And d4 knight is not, the d4 knight will not be able to stay there. You will be winning. If you can just change one rook and change the queens, you will be winning, absolutely. But it's not so easy. So probably rook a8, rook a1 is what you should try. But it's about equal chances here.
But I didn't realize this. Like, I truly thought that exactly. I didn't realize that he had this idea, because I just thought I'm an exchange up, and I thought it was kind of hard to evaluate. But then he took with the knight here, and now I'm winning the exchange, and I think he thought that he had some tactical things.
Yeah, because he had seen this knight take g7, which is a very beautiful idea, but it doesn't work because of what happens.
Because of one move. So I was an exchange up. He went for this knight takes g7 crazy move with the idea that if I take, it's going to be a perpetual. It's going to be a draw, because my king does not escape. It's going to be check forever. So I cannot take. But I pretty quickly saw after knight takes g7 that I have one brilliant move that just pretty much wins the game, which is rook takes e2.
Yeah, that was a very good move. I was so happy to see it on the board when you played it.
Did you think I was going to do it pretty quickly?
Not so quickly. You played more quicker than I thought. I was a little worried you would do something else, but I know that you always calculate these things, so it is very good. And so the idea is if the queen takes, it will not be able to make perpetual. You will have a piece extra here. Yeah.
Yeah, then the queen is gone, and I'm just a piece up, and I can, if queen here, I can just go f3 or whatever, or f6 or whatever. Completely safe. So yeah, he did not take. Instead, he decided to go for this attack, queen g5. But now I had calculated, now he's threatening basically to just win by going knight takes e6. But I have one move and one move only that wins the game, which is f6, threatening now the queen. And now there's no double check he can do with the knight. The best thing he can do is to take my bishop and threaten my queen at the same time. But after all of these exchanges, I am actually still an exchange up. And not only am I an exchange up, but these rooks are so active.
Yeah, the rooks on the second or seventh line is just fantastic. And not only one, you have both of them there.
Yeah.
So this is, wow, I was so happy to see this position at the board.
And then after check, you were saying that what I did was the best to go king f7.
Yeah, king f7 was good because there's no knight checks. I like king f7 very much. I don't know, king d7, if you can start making some knight e6 annoying you like this. So king f7, what I like most. There's no check with the knight, and the only move he has is the rook check that he played.
Yeah, and trading rooks here, is that something that I would want to do? I mean, I guess it's still winning.
Yeah, but he will not trade. He will go back somewhere.
He will go back, and okay, but then I guess I'll start picking everything up, no?
Yeah, but he will try to get some counterplay, knight d5, take your pawn on b4 over the c pawn. So what you play was absolutely best, because your rooks are in king f8. This was very good.
Because now if knight e6 check, I go king e8.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be more checks. I mean, there's a few, but I just wanted to checkmate, basically. That was my plan. So after check, king e8, rook takes h7. Yeah, I just saw that I'm just going to be checkmating. Like, okay, I thought he had to go king h1, and then I was going to take on g4. But with 1 second on the clock left, he played king f1.
That's a little time. I didn't know that. I knew he had a little time, but not that much. So.
But then, yeah, I just went rook b2, and yeah, now after rook c2, he just resigned because there's going to be a checkmate happening.
There will be checkmate. He cannot do anything. So we see the strength of the two rooks on the 7th. Just wow, and no pawns. And that's why it's always a little bit tricky when we move the f-pawn. If he had the f-pawn, he could defend it. He could maybe put up a fight. But without the f-pawn, he has nowhere to. Oh, but well done. It was a good game. It was a game where you had control all the time. You didn't make any mistake. You find plans. And when there was these things happening in the center, you had more control than your opponent. You won.
Yeah, and I'm so happy because he was having a fantastic tournament, but now after I won this game, I'm on 5 out of 6 points, and I right now have a very real chance of getting a fantastic placement in this tournament. Like if I would, let's say, win the rest of the games, which is crazy, I would probably win the tournament. So I'm right now just going to try to play as well as possible the final 3 games, and I'll be doing recaps where I show you guys the games so that you know what's going on. But yeah, I'm just so happy that I'm in this position right now because we have a chance. We have a chance. And I've never won a chess tournament in my life, so it would be the very first time. So I'm going to keep the fingers crossed. I'm going to try to play good chess. I feel like I've played well so far this tournament. And I'm just going to try to keep on winning. Also, Mom, did you know that according to chess.com, I played at 98% accuracy?
Yeah, I saw that. No, I've been very happy with how you played today. You played very well.
I was so happy. Like, I couldn't believe it when I finished the game and I saw 97.8. I was like, this is crazy. Like, it was almost a perfect game, which, yeah, I didn't think it was. So, yeah, just really, really, really happy.
So, yes, keep on playing the way you play, enjoy chess, and fully concentrate. Maybe a little bit quicker sometimes. Yeah, that's the only thing.
So this was my round 6 of this tournament. Thank you so much, Mom, for joining the video and for joining, the analysis. My mom is commentating every single game, so be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. CET if you're watching this the day that it's being uploaded, because she will be commentating. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this video, and wish me luck for round 7. Bye!